So I sit down at my nail table and tell her to have a seat across from me. And I'm waiting for her to place her hand on my nail table. And she's not doing it. She proceeds to then tell me,
"My arm is broken."
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you do what you want.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be part 2 of my previous video, my story time. But this is my client's previous set. She did lose some of her rhinestones, but this set has been on for about 3 weeks with absolutely no lifting. And if you'd like to see what I create and hear part 2 to the story time, please keep watching. So I'm going to start out with this pink color, and I'm actually not going to be able to put this on the screen or link it down below. This color was part of a set that I received as a gift. So unfortunately, I do not have the details for this particular color, but for the most part, everything else that I use will be listed below and on the screen. I've already applied my client's full cover extensions, and these are the Nail Couture tapered stiletto. I have never used this shape on a client, and let me just tell you, I am so in love with it. These tips are really great quality, and I love the sharpness of the stiletto tip. So yeah, let me jump into part 2 of the story time and go ahead and wrap this up. So if you haven't watched part 1, please go watch that first before you watch this one so things make sense to you. I'm not gonna recap everything because there's a lot to unpack with that. So I'm just gonna pick up where I left off at. So I completed her set and she was super happy. Like, she was so excited, and like I said, she just seemed like her energy was much lighter and she just couldn't stop smiling. So she leaves and I'm kind of patting myself on the back like, girl, you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite everything, I was able to pull off a beautiful set of nails, you know? Before she left, I advised her that I have to remove the nails for her, or they need to be soaked off. These nails are on so well. They are meant to last for anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks, and you cannot just pop them off. So she agreed, she understood, we hugged, and she told me that she would reach out to schedule her next appointment for another set, but she needed to look at her schedule and like her daughter's schedule just to see when she would be free and coordinate that with my schedule. So she leaves, everything is fine. I post her set of nails on my social medias like I do with every set of nails that I do. I just always post my work just to show people what I've done and just to remind myself of what I am capable of and to see my own growth. If I'm not mistaken, she even commented on that post about how much she loved her nails and how pretty they were and how happy she was with her set of nails. So everything was good, like everything was great. About a week and a half later, she sends me a message on Facebook, which is the way that we had communicated before her appointment when she was getting information. Usually that is my preferred method of communication. Through Facebook Messenger or Instagram DMs when I was actively using Instagram, those are the ways that I prefer to communicate. So she and I started speaking through Messenger, and that's the way we had always communicated. She sends me a message and she's like, hey, these nails are damaging my nails. And I'm like, what do you mean they're like damaging your nails? I mean, they're a full cover extension, which means it's completely covering your natural nail. In my mind, I'm like, how is it, like, how are they damaging them? And she's like, well, I fell again and I broke one. One thing to know about full cover extensions or Apres full cover tips is that soft gel extensions will bend before they break. I don't know if you've ever worn acrylic nails or hard gel nails. If you hit them, they will crack and then they will break. Sometimes they crack at, a stress point, like right across the middle. With full cover soft gel extensions, they are really flexible. They're strong, but they're flexible. It takes a lot to like break one because they do just typically bend. They're not as rigid and hard as an acrylic nail. So I guess they mimic a natural nail more. They're thinner, more lightweight, but still sturdy and strong, but not to the extent of an acrylic extension. So she tells me that she fell and she broke one. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the condition of your natural nail? Like, did it damage your natural nail as well? Because depending on the way that you broke it, like, did you bend it backwards and damage your natural nail? Did it, like, how is your natural nail underneath? And she's like, it broke off. And I'm like, your natural nail broke off with the extension? And I never got a straight answer with that, but she basically told me that her natural nail was really damaged and that the Gel X nails are much more strong than she's used to, which was a little bit backwards to me because I'm the first to admit that acrylic nails are a lot more strong and rigid, in the sense that if they break, they break, So I told her that, again, they have to be soaked off, but I cannot soak them off and then add a nail to that damaged nail. If your natural nail is damaged or broken or blood has been drawn, I cannot add a nail to that damaged natural nail. It's just, I'm not going to do that. And it didn't just go for her. That goes for any of my clients. If they hurt themselves or break a nail or do any type of damage to their natural nail, I cannot work on that nail. We'll have to throw a band-aid on that thing, let it heal, and then we can revisit, at your next appointment and see if it is healthy. And if it's healthy at your next appointment, we can proceed with applying a nail and, going back to the usual routine. So this conversation is taking place the day before her appointment, her scheduled appointment. So I'm like, she's like, well, can I still come in the morning? And I'm like, yeah, you can come and we'll do a soak off and, we would just apply a new set at another time. I'll just take off the nails for you properly and, we will reschedule later for another set if that's what you want to do. So cool. Everything is everything. The next morning, well, let me just say that my rules are the same across the board for all my services. I do have a 10-minute grace period that I allow. My services are not quick. You're not going to be in and out. It is a process. It takes time. So I try to schedule myself accordingly. I don't like to overbook myself. I always give myself ample time because I like to provide my clients with, I guess, a space of, this is their time. I don't have people waiting while someone is getting their nails done. When you're here, it's just you and I. That's it. Nobody else is encroaching on your appointment time, or I don't feel like I have to rush because I have someone waiting, and like, I don't operate that way. So I'm very strict on time for them, for myself, and for other clients that I may have on a particular day. Now we're at the next day, the day of her appointment, and usually I don't talk to my clients too much the day of their appointment unless, something changed with them, like they had an emergency or something like that. For the most part, they just show up and a lot of them will let me know like, hey, just letting you know I'm here a little bit early. I'm taking a phone call, but I'll be up in a moment. Little stuff like that. But she sent me a message. Her appointment was for 9 a.m. I looked back at the conversation and her appointment was for 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And so technically she had until 9:10 to still be on time for her appointment. So when I got the message, I am going to put it up on the screen. You can pause to read. I did crop out her profile photo and name just to protect who she actually is. But she was like, hey, I am running late. I was like, hey, how late were you thinking? Because I have some plans today. Now, typically, I allot about 4 hours per service. On average, for a new set, removal, nail art, my sets generally take about 2.5 to 3 hours. And I like to fit in my chit chat time and all that stuff. So we're in here laughing, talking. It probably will only take about 2 hours, but with all the extra stuff we be in here doing, like sometimes my nail sessions are like we're at the club, we take breaks to eat, we watch TV, we listen to music, we think we're rappers. Like my sets probably would not take half the time that they take if we weren't up here vibing the way that we do. And I truly believe each and every single one of my clients would agree with me that we have a time. We laugh, we cry, we really have a good time. So my appointments do take longer than they probably need to. So, I'm just asking her, like, how long do you think you'll be, or how much later do you think you're going to be? Because I have some plans today. And she kind of came back with like an attitude. And I will admit, I know sometimes it's hard to read somebody's tone through a message, but it was just kind of like, I'm just getting my nails taken off. In so many words, what's the big deal with how long it's going to take me to get there or how late I'm going to be, because you're just taking them off. And that would be completely fine if I didn't have plans, or if this was just something we were doing on a whim and you did not schedule an appointment. So the fact that you have a scheduled appointment that is supposed to start at a certain time, we kind of got to adhere to that, because again, I have things that I'm going to be doing today. Her soak off probably would have taken me about, I would say 30 minutes or so. And then I'd give myself like an extra 10 or 15 just to do her dry manicure, make sure that her nails are in decent shape, just in case she wasn't going to get them redone right away. And so I would like to make sure that they were presentable for her, or to at least provide her with a smooth, clean surface if she wanted to just throw on some gel polish or something like that. But do y'all know, before I could even respond further, she came back with, immediately, I'm just gonna cancel, have a good day. And do you know she blocked me? I was like, wait, I was so confused. I've never been blocked mid-conversation. Like, she didn't even give me a chance to accommodate or, argue back or like say anything. It was just kind of like, excuse my language, I try not to cuss on this channel, I swear I do, but in this situation, I feel like she was on bullshit from the word go. If you have a scheduled appointment, an appointment time that you chose, you picked this appointment time, then you should be able to fulfill your obligation to me for your service. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. I don't send people the hey boo, hey love, hey babe. I don't send those texts to cancel on people ever. I think since I've been doing nails, I may have canceled one appointment, maybe two max, in a 2-year period. When your appointment is scheduled to start, I am here and ready to go. I am very prompt, punctual, and professional. If you have a scheduled appointment with me, unless I have a legit emergency, which again is super rare, I'm going to be here and be ready to provide you with a service, the service that you booked and paid your deposit for. So she blocks me and I'm livid. Like, I'm pissed because not only did I accommodate and tolerate the bull with this broken arm, like, I was still willing to accommodate you arriving here late. And that goes against everything that I stand for and believe in, because again, I try to make sure that each client that I have knows that their time with me is their time with me. That particular day, I didn't have a client after her. So if she would have said, hey, I'm struggling with this arm and I didn't sleep well, I'll be there by 10:15, 11. I would have still accommodated her because I didn't have anybody coming after her. But the fact that she didn't even allow me to, say anything, it really did piss me off because, girl, Miss Ma'am, I should have sent you on your way when you came up here with a broken arm to begin with. The fact that you were drinking while carrying a child, I should have sent you on your way. But I was trying not to be judgy. I was trying to be understanding, and I proceeded with an appointment that I probably shouldn't have. She blocked me, and I immediately went to defend myself, because what I've come to realize is that even when a client or really any person is in the wrong, when it comes to dealing with a service provider, people will bash you and leave out all of the things that you may have put up with or accommodated them with. They leave all of that out and just tell the world how shitty of a service you provided or how bad. I've never gotten a bad review, and it wasn't about to start with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't going to allow her to tarnish my name or to drag my reputation because she couldn't get her way, when at the end of the day, she probably still would have gotten her way. So without naming her, I did make a post to get ahead of anything that she may say or do, just to protect myself, my brand, and my reputation. Like, I take what I do very seriously. I take great pride in what I do. And going forward, after, my situation with her, I evaluated my business differently. I only take clients that I know. As of right now, my books are closed and have been closed for almost a year. The clients that I have are loyal. They, come consistently. I don't take any new clients under any circumstances. If you are not a returning client, then I am not servicing anybody, because I have to protect my peace, my brand, and my energy. And the ladies that I have right now, I could not ask for a better group of women. I have over 20 consistent clients, and I'm happy with that. So, that situation taught me that all money is not good money. And like, I don't have to service any and everybody. I can be selective. I can choose to refuse service. I don't have to allow anybody to put me in a situation where I have to make uncomfortable decisions. I am a private tech and I do work from home. So it feels really good to know that the people I have personally given my address to are the only people that actually have my exact address, So I made the decision to just close my books and focus on the clients that I have. I do have a full-time job as well. So, the amount of clients that I have, it's enough for me. I do have a full-time job to support myself and to handle my obligations. That situation was unnecessarily stressful. I know that I'm easygoing and I allowed things to, or have allowed things to slide that didn't affect me. And I was a lot more forgiving in the beginning because I was trying to find my footing. I was trying to find the correct and proper way to handle a business and gain some confidence. And now I am a lot more assertive. I am a lot more confident in who I am as a service provider and the type of service that I give my clients is, one that they can depend on. They can depend on me to come through for them when they need me. But I also expect the same and receive the same from them. I do have a certain, I guess, caliber of clients, and what I give, I also receive. I only have about, I would say, 4 stories that I could tell. I am going to tell at least 2 more of them, just to show you guys the type of things that you may come into contact with and how to handle them if you do. So yeah, that was the client, I guess, from hell that stressed me out beyond belief and blocked me. I guess I dodged a bullet because I was telling, some of my family, like, if it had not been this situation with her, it would have been something else down the line. So I'm kind of glad she did block me. Oh, and I also refunded her deposit immediately. I did not want her to say I owed her anything. So even though I had a right to keep her deposit based on my policy, if you cancel your appointment at the last minute or something like that, your deposit is automatically forfeited. And I do place that on all correspondence. But because this situation was a little bit, I don't want to call it volatile, but it wasn't the best. I did not want her to have any ammunition to say she didn't give me my money back or, she kept my deposit. No, I gave it back because $10 was not worth the hassle. It wasn't worth owing her anything. You blocked me. I sent back her deposit through the same method that she sent it to me. That way my name was completely cleared. I don't owe her nothing. So yeah, that's this part 2, the final part of the story. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. What do you think about this story? Are you a service provider? Have you ever dealt with a difficult client? I know this happens all the time, and luckily, again, I don't have a whole lot of stories like this to tell. I got a couple more, not quite as bad as this one, but yeah, I found out she actually gave another service provider, actually a friend of mine in a different industry, in the hair industry. She had her own run-in with her, so it wasn't just me, which made me feel a tiny bit better, I guess. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The numbers are growing, but a lot of you still have not hit that subscribe button, and it's free. Come on now. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know that you enjoy my content, and I will see you all again soon in the next one. Bye.
But she don't love me, she's too scary. My opus front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know if she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I wanna contract, yeah.